episode of The Follow-Up. I'm Eden, and this is my dad, Noah, and every week for the past 3 years, we've been sitting in my bed and having a conversation about something we want to talk about. And this week, we're going to talk about an event that we went to, all about dogs.
So this event was here in New York on Saturday, the Javits Center, where you could meet and pet and hang out with about 150 different breeds of dogs. But before we talk about that, thank you to everybody who sent in really nice comments over whether it was social media or just friends with texts, emails. But you can also do it on Apple Podcasts, and that's probably the best place to do it so that we both see it. Just leave a rating and review, and so the review can just be a comment about a previous episode. So thank you for all those who said such nice things about last week's episode about feeling left out. And I think it really speaks to why we did it about so that other kids don't feel like they're alone in that situation.
I always think it's nice when, because I know that a bunch of kids have probably gone through this and are. So I think and they might not know how to handle it or might think that they're alone in it.
Yeah.
So I think it's nice for that.
Yeah, and it's also
for them to know they're not alone in it.
Sure.
But also.
And I also think it's good for you to know that you're never alone in a situation, that there are other kids going through the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm glad that you could do your part in this. All right, so this dog event, we're recording this on Saturday. So Saturday and Sunday in New York at the Javits Center, the big convention center, massive convention center near Hudson Yards. And they had a travel and adventure show going on in
and
there,
a boat
too.
show.
And a boat show and this Meet the Breed. That's what it's called, Meet the
Breed.
From the American Kennel Club. So we saw some dogs go through those like obstacle courses, which were fun. And I don't remember which dogs we saw go through them, but they were going like through the.
Some of them, and then they would jump over a 20-inch.
Yeah, 20-inch bar.
They were
like going through the like the agility area, and then they would slide through or like run through a tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
What was your favorite breed?
Oh, I'm gonna ask you that too.
Okay,
I really liked. I hadn't seen a Basset Hound in a long time. So, and my buddy Ben, they used to have. He had Greta when he was little, and then they always had Basset Hounds. And Greta as a Basset Hound, like as a baby, was just the sweetest thing ever. She was so little, and then they get bigger, and their ears hang to the ground, and like everything just like it's like gravity just pulls.
Exactly. It's like they want to float, but the whole even the chin.
Jowl just falls down. And I also loved seeing the Saint Bernard, and just because they're just so massive, but they seem really docile and sweet. And
so my favorite was the Portuguese water dog.
Oh, why?
Yo!
Yeah, they are cute.
Horrible.
Yeah,
and they're small.
They don't have to be small.
But most of them, a lot of them are small.
No,
or some of them are small.
Yeah, some, but they don't have to be small at all.
And they're soft.
Mm-hmm.
And they have adorable faces.
Yeah, they're black and with
little white.
With a little bit of white. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, a little bit.
Dog
we had cousins who had Portuguese water dog, friends who had Portuguese water dogs when we were little. But what I didn't know is ask what was we asked like why they're water dogs,
okay,
right?
So in Portugal, they're called Portuguese water dogs. So in Portugal, they help fishermen, and also there's a story that said in World War II that they help deliver messages from ship to shore and from shore to sea.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. But they would help the fishermen like gather the nets and bring things back and forth. Yeah, I had no idea why they were called.
Yeah.
I also, I mean, seeing some of these dogs, there were a lot of terriers there, and I saw the Boston Terrier because I went to Boston University, and the Boston Terrier I don't think is very cute.
It's not very cute. The only thing that's cute is the one that's on your golf clubs. That's cute.
Well, it's like a cartoon character of it.
Yeah. Cute.
And so then there's so there are a lot of different terriers. We saw a lot of different schnauzers also, but some of them were just like they were like almost shaved on top, and then they had
they were kind of like a box.
And then they had fur down below, and then on their face. It was odd.
Yeah.
But then seeing, how about the sheepdogs? Look like mops. Yeah, sheepdogs.
No, the sheepdog. The sheepdog was I forgot what they're called, the mop ones. But the sheepdogs, they have so it's like my body basically is like, let's say the sheepdog, but then their fur goes to here. So it's like me times
that's so
30.
thick. Yeah,
it's so thick, like this much is fur.
And then those dogs that
and
I don't know what they're called, but have the really, really long hair
and
that
they
you
hang
see off the
down,
dog shows.
and they're kind of like braided, kind of like the hair, because they're not soft. They're like really hard, and they come down, so it kind of it has like the feel of like a mop, and it looks like a mop.
Yeah, then there were like Chihuahuas, and there
was one Chihuahua.
Bichon Frises, like the little dogs. They had Saint Bernard. They had Burmese mountain dogs.
Yeah.
They had Huskies. They had Collies.
I forgot they were called, but they had these little dogs. They had so much fur on them.
Just fluff.
They were so small.
And then we stuck around to see. At 1 o'clock, they had it was like amazing dog tricks, and there were these two dogs that are all white.
Yeah, I forget what they're called.
Came out with their owner in the center of this thing, in in a ring.
Yeah,
I guess.
Cool.
And
it's cool, right?
The dog just did not want to do the trick, and it was like reading a sign that said "roll over," and the dog would roll over, but the dog did not do it. And then the next trick was just jumping through a hoop. And didn't seem very interested in that. And I felt so bad for the owner or trainer of these dogs, because here she is.
Oh, and it was their first big thing.
Yeah, it was their first show.
I felt so bad.
Yeah, I felt really bad. I mean, that's embarrassing. Yeah, but she seemed to handle it pretty well.
Yeah.
They also had Cocker Spaniels. They had Norwich Terriers, which are very cute.
All the terriers.
Dalmatians?
Yes. If you're looking for a dog, okay, it's only there. We're filming this on Saturday. It's only there until Sunday.
And this comes out Monday, so you missed it.
So you missed it, but if you're looking for a dog, this is definitely the place to go.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't have, I know they got very popular during, they had some mixed breed terriers, but they didn't have any of the doodles. They didn't have any of there were no poodles there either. So there were no doodle dogs.
I always think the poodles, they look so funny. Like the classic poodle, they have the hair, but then there's the poof up top, and then the little ears. They look so funny. It's when I see it, I get out laughing. And then where it's the little fur at the bottom of it's like an ankle bracelet with the fur.
That's a good way of putting it. An ankle bracelet. That is funny.
Yeah.
And I think the number one question, or I think I know what it is. I'll ask you. What do you think the number one question is from people just walking up to the dogs? They each had a booth, and you could just walk up, pet, talk to the owners, the breeders. What do you think the most popular question is?
Do they shed?
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Do they shed? Yeah.
And a bunch of them didn't, but a bunch of them did.
Yeah.
There was the dogs in the rink. In the ring.
Oh, yeah.
They showed after 2 brushes, 2 days of brushing, there was a whole, the jumbo size Ziplocs.
Beyond the jumbo size.
Beyond jumbo?
Yeah.
Oh, fur!
All fur.
It was I think it was probably 4 times all of my hair.
You think? Yeah,
Maybe
probably.
more.
Yeah, it was because it's it's fluffy. Yeah, and when I don't remember the dogs that we had when I was really little. I was a baby, maybe until I was maybe 2 or 3 years old. I don't remember them. We had a schnauzer, so a little schnauzer squirt, and then we had Shayna, who was a collie, and you saw a collie. They're pretty big. And we had Shannon, who was an Irish setter, who was also pretty big and apparently crazy. But then when I was 10, we got Casey, who was a mixed terrier. And then...
He was a good dog, right? but never stop barking.
Casey was a good dog, yeah.
But
yeah,
never stopped barking.
She never stopped barking. And she would always follow grandmom. Like, just always followed grandmom everywhere. And then, so those are the dogs that I had when I was a kid. And Mom never had a dog.
And you had Buddy.
Well, yes, but that was, I wasn't home for Buddy. That was, Grandma and Grandpa had Buddy. Yeah.
Okay, I've seen pictures of that dog. It was like, it's adorable.
Yeah, very, very. But we can't, in our apartment here, we can't have a dog.
But I feel like even if we were allowed, we still probably wouldn't get one.
I agree.
Because it's just a lot in this city. Because it's like walking in the morning. And also, it's like, if we had it in the suburbs, it's like we can't always tend to it for like outside. We can just let it run around in the backyard if we need.
Right.
We can't go.
Right. If you had a fenced-in backyard, you could do that.
Yeah.
And there's just more area to be in.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's also,
it's like if you had a dog here, and look, millions of people have dogs, or hundreds of thousands, I would say.
Yeah.
But
my friends
if you live near a park or a dog run where it's just easy to go out and take your dog, it just doesn't fit with our day to day.
Yeah, and especially because I have to go to school and all that stuff. And then you go to work now earlier.
Right.
And Mom goes to work early.
So you wouldn't want to just wake up in the morning and just walk the dog by herself on the streets of New York?
Oh.
And pick up the poop?
Oh. I would pick up the poop. I don't care about picking up.
Did I tell you not too long ago I saw, and there aren't many things in New York that you see and you think, wow, that's the first time I've ever seen that. But I've always wondered if this would happen, but I had never seen it before. A guy was walking his dog across the street.
You told me this.
Across
you told me this.
Oh, but he was walking. This guy was walking his dog across 23rd Street, which is a busy two-way street. It's one of the streets that goes two ways, 23rd. And the dog just poops in the middle of the intersection, and the light is counting down, and he was really hustling. I was wondering if he was just going to leave it there or what, but he made it. I was impressed. I stood on the other side of the sidewalk and watched. It was very impressive. Yeah. All right, well, I'm glad you had fun.
Yeah.
All right, maybe one day you'll have a Portuguese water dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Love you.